Hey YouTube, how you guys doing tonight? Kevin here coming at you, working on the green bike. Well, I bolted the engine down. I was just basically setting into the frame and put a couple bolts on it, put the air filter on it. We haven't put any of the other stuff on there yet. It kind of went ahead. I did a video, but my camera crapped out on me again. Apple phone. Thank you very much. I can't wait to get a GoPro. I need a GoPro. So, anyway, I got a couple of things of information on this for you. I'm using the parts from a KDE80 on this KDE100. So I'm calling this bike the KDE8 the KDE100. Okay. Basically, there's no ignition switch or any of that type of stuff. Okay, don't mind all these boxes in the back. And these are all Christmas decorations, by the way, which will be going away possibly tomorrow. And I'm gonna move them around so I have more room in here, because as you can see, I'm setting up the shelves and getting all that type of stuff done. So, getting there. I got motors everywhere. That's my KDE100, KDE102 motor, the KDE100, and a KDE80. So anyway, back on this bad boy. We're making this thing into a KDE100, and it features the same grip, the on-off switch, like the KD has. Okay, so basically what had happened was we modified a lot of stuff on this bike to simplify it. There is no lights on it. There's no electrical harness. The electrical harness consists of the one wire coming off this switch, going all the way down, coming to here with a double connector, one going up to the coil and the other one going to the magneto. Now I'm going to show you on this magneto. What do I do with that light? I have a light around here. It is. I'm going to show you guys the modification. Okay. When you're working on a KE100, you have two charge coils right here. These two coils right here are for your lights and charge your battery. This bike's not going to have a battery. So if you took the flywheel off, you're going to only see this coil with the fine wiring. That coil right there is for your ignition. So you're going to see that, the condenser, and the points. That's it. So when you come out of here, instead of having the yellow wires for your charging system and the green wire for your neutral safety light that turns on the green light, you're not going to have any of that. The only wire you're going to have is the black wire for the coil. That's it. So, and on this KD100, you will see how it's just got the flywheel and the single wire coming off of it. That's it. Okay, this is up here because I rubbed a couple parts off it. So on this bike, I got the exhaust put on it. I got the mag and the flywheel. You can see the grommet right here. Let me see if I can put this light up here so you can see. Nope, okay, can't. You can see the grommet now. You can see the grommet right there. And then you can see the block-off plate for there's no neutral safety switch. That all came off the KD80. So the wire comes around here. It's twisted together right here. I have to solder it. But tonight's is checking on spark. Because I did the, I can't even talk. I used that brand new tool that I made. This one right here. And I'm not sure if it has spark, if it works. So tonight we're going to find that out. Alright. So I'm going to, what do you call it there? It's got no spark plug. I took the spark plug out. Well, we didn't put one in it actually, technically. So I'm going to turn up my big tripod. I got to get a GoPro. This is crazy doing this. But it's kind of difficult where YouTube cut off anybody under 1,000 subscribers. So basically we're just doing this and we're not making no money on it. So everything I do is extremely low budget now. But I appreciate my subscribers. So I'm going to keep these videos coming for you guys. This is a nice little project that we're doing. And if you guys have one of these bikes, you guys can do it too if you want. I'm just making it into a complete off-road bike. You know, no more on-road. Alright. So let's see here. Okay, there's no Kickstarter on this yet either. I got one on the floor though. Alright, so tonight we're going to check for spark. If we have spark, then tomorrow night we're going to go ahead and put the oiler on and do a carburetor up for it, get this side of the motor buttoned up and the other side. If we can get these two sides done, this bike is basically done. And then we got to do the tires and the rims. And what I'm doing is the brakes have to be modified in the front because it has a speedometer drive, and I'll show you. Let's go to these brakes I have up here. You can see on this system right here, you can see the speedometer drive. Basically, it has a gear in there, worm gear like this, and it drives that shaft and turns the cable. This is one from a KDE100, and doesn't have this. There's no starter drive. I mean, no tachometer drive. So we're going to end up using that one, and that's going to take care of the brakes. As you can see, we got enough stuff to do that with, so we're good. Alright, so back on this. This is the one that had the bad transmission. This actually motor came off this bike, so they made it back up again. But right now, we changed everything over on it. We took all the lights, we took the speedometer off, we took all the marker lights off, we took the wiring harness out of it. I mean, we really lightened her up, you know, and that's what we're going for. Light, KDE100, basic necessities to run it, no extras. Alright, so got you guys up here. Okay. This switch should have spark in the middle, and then when you shut them off, spark should go away. Alright. Let's see if we can get a little closer to that spark plug. I'm just adjusting you guys up. Okay. We're good. No, we're not good. Okay. Like that. Come on. There we go. Alright. Let's see. Of course, I can't focus in on it, can I? Alright. Now, there's no spark plug in there, so you can see I have no nut on the end of this Kickstarter. But I'm turning over without any compression, so because it's got no spark plug, so it's not got no compression. Alright, let's see if we get spark. Oh, yeah, we do. Look at that, huh? Oh, that's beautiful. Alright, so that tool I made works great. Now, I'm going to shut the switch off. Okay, switch is off, and I should have no spark. No spark. Okay, now when I turn it back into the middle, I should have spark. Beautiful. Now when I go back to the off switch on the other side, I should have no spark. No spark. Beautiful. Spark is back in the middle. Last check. Oh yeah, that's beautiful. Okay, so we know the wiring's good there. So I got to solder those two wires together. And we're good there. So let's see, I'll shrink you guys back down if I can. Get this phone to work. There we go. Okay, so we have spark. Just the wire coming off the magneto, going to this dual, one going up to the coil, and the other one's going up to the kill switch. That's it. That's it for wiring on the bike. There is no wiring anywhere on the bike. There's not even a battery box. We're not even putting the battery box back in it. These are just, this is the oiler and stuff like that, the parts for the oiler, which we'll put on tomorrow night. And I got some bolts for the side covers in there. So we got that. We're going to make a seat switch because it's not going to have a seat lock. So this is going to go down here with a thumb screw. Just to both of them together to hold the seat down. There's no locks whatsoever on this bike. It's basically the same thing as a KDE100. Just it's a 100 and much bigger. So it's using a KDE100 motor, which is set up like a KD, which is awesome. So we're going to do a carburetor on this thing. I'm not using on the exhaust, there's no tip, so it's going to be a little louder than it's going to sound like a dirt bike. So we're going to go with a bigger jet on the carburetor when we do the carburetor. I actually have that carburetor right there. So we're going to put the carburetor on, get the cables hooked up to the throttle, get that all done, and go from there. So the motor's bolted down, the air filter is on, and the exhaust is on. So what's left to do on this side is Put a side cover on with a shifter. This side's done. We'll get that done. On this side over here, carburetor oiler and clutch adjustment. Then the two side covers that go on this. And then this part of the engine's done. Once the carburetor is on, this thing is done. It's got to be started and adjusted. And of course I have the fuel tank, which came out really, really good. I'm very pleased with that fuel tank. Put you guys back on the stand here for a minute. So we did the modification to the fuel cap, which I'm sure you guys have seen in the other videos. My fuel cap modification, because like once again, this bike ain't gonna have no keys on it. So the fuel cap can't be keyed either. So I did the fuel cap modification. And basically just screws on and off. So now that we got the wiring done, take this tank, slip the tank on. I gotta put the bolt in that. Gotta get that, but that's what she's gonna look like right there. Alright. This bike is a 95. And it was beaten so badly, it's got two bent rims, which we gotta switch out the rims. And the transmission was destroyed. So luckily we were able to fix that and end up with the, you can see I wrote on the motor bad trans. That's because I have so many different motors. I like to write on them and find out what I got. That's my KDE100 motor right there. But I got the other KDE100 engine, which is actually going on the KD and the KDE80. Plus I have other totes. This is nothing compared to what I got for parts. So working on that. We're going to be opening up a new and used parts thing. This is my expansion chamber, which I'm going to put on this bike to mock it up. I took it off my white bike. I'm going to put it on this bike to mock it up after this bike is all done and up and running. Okay, so I had a question on a how do you tell if your rim is bent? Alright, this has been one of those things where some guys use a screwdriver which scratches up the rim. They put it on there and they spin their wheel. I do things a little differently. I have tools that I use for certain things, and this being one of them. It's called a dial indicator, and this right here allows me, I'm not going to do it, but I'm going to show you how it's set up. Okay, so this is a tool that you can rent at a parts store. It's called a dial indicator, and it's for check and run out. That's what it's called, run out. And I use all kinds of fancy tools, but at least I get to show you how they work. Okay, I'm shrinking down my stand at the moment so I can put you guys on it. You guys can see what's going on. So I'm going to put you on the stand for a minute. I love the questions too, by the way, guys. I appreciate that. It helps with the videos, so I get to put these questions that you guys have into my videos and share them with all of you guys. Because it's not you guys. You guys aren't the only ones with the questions. Some people just don't know how to get their questions across. And these are all good questions. So with that said, I'm going to show you guys if I can have enough room in here. I'm going to actually move the bike for a second to show you. Okay, yeah, I'm going to go this way. And I'm going to set you guys up over here so you guys can see what I'm doing. Possibly. Okay, that may not work. That may not work all that well. Hold on. Need a new camera, man. Bad. Okay. That'll work. Okay. So you see this pair of vice grips here? These all come in that kit. Okay, it's a that's who makes it right there. Flower Tools. And it's just for checking ball joints on cars. You can use it for checking brake drums and all that type of stuff. But I use it on this type of stuff as well. Okay? So, the way it works is it has a dial indicator. And you clamp it onto a bolt, a firm bolt. I use it at the bottom of the shocks. Jesus, this thing is going to kill me yet. Okay. Alright. So we'll loosen this up. And now it flexes. Okay, you can move it in any direction you want to move it in. Okay? It's like a big snake. Alright, so once you get it into the position you want, you got to put your indicator on. My suggestion is the best way to, it's like that. Okay, now take you guys back off the stand. Okay, switching you guys around, here we go. Alright, so this clamps onto your bolt, and it's got this little snake. You can loosen it or tighten it by this little lever. Comes down around, you can see the dial indicator. And then you put that on the rim, and then when you move the tire, you'll see the gauge move. And depending upon how bad it is, you know, certain bikes have a lot of run out. I would say like 5 or 10 thousandths is alright, but I can't lift the bike in just with one hand. But anyway, you guys get the idea. It clamps on, and it's got a snake. Holds up your dial indicator. You can see how sensitive it is. Gets it set to where you want to go. You can rotate the needle to give you your run out in between. Say you want the thing to run out, you go like this. Set it up so it stays within that window, and you're good to go. And so when you rotate the tire, it's going to move this little rod here, and it will give you a run out. Follow what I'm saying? And that's how you can tell if your rim is really bent. Sometimes it's just a slight bend. Sometimes it's pretty serious. You can also use that if you're doing a if you're adjusting your spokes, which is another good way of doing it. It's tedious. Adjusting spokes is a tedious process, but it needs to be done every now and then. Especially if you do a lot of off-road riding with these bikes. These bikes really aren't designed for heavy off-roading. So, but that's pretty much what we got for tonight. Kind of just a short film. Basically going over how I did the electrical on this thing. It's from a KDE100. The block-off plate for the neutral safety switch, where it's headed, and the brakes. Went over the electrical system, the difference between the two. If you want to make a lightweight off-road buggy like this one, it's a great little dirt bike. And we might even put a, what do you call it there? I got like a number plate right there. That's off a KDE100. We might slap something like that on the front. I might make a green one, you know. We'll put a green one on there. Put a number plate on it like a dirt bike. But that is pretty much it. Oh yeah, the fuel cap. You guys saw the fuel cap modification. This is all nice and solid now. I used the red Loctite on it. We took the dog out, which I showed you that pin. Now it just unscrews. That pin that was coming out of that hole right there. And now it's a good functioning fuel cap. Just goes on, locks up like that, and off she goes. She's all set. Now when I go to the gas station, I can just twist it off like I can my KE, and the tank still vents, which is great because it vents out the cap on the inside there, not through the top. So it works out very well. Oh, there we go. There we go. Tighten down nicely like that. There we go, right there. It's nice and tight. So that's pretty much it for that, and that's it. So we got the carburetor. We have to do that possibly tomorrow night. I think we're not going to do the carburetor tomorrow. I think we're going to do the oiler and get the other side. Put the side cover on, the shifter on, get that done. We have the oiler. We'll put the oiler on, and if we have enough time, we'll do the carburetor. So we got spark. We're good there. And we're good to go. So thank you guys for watching. Please subscribe. 390 subscribers. You guys are awesome. I really appreciate this. Please keep sharing it and keep this thing going. And we're going to keep doing videos. So that's what I'm planning. And we might take a break from this one because I have my red KD. We got to pull the engine off of because that's getting a KE100 motor, but with a KM jug. And we're going to make another 100. So we're going to make it a KD100. That way I have a KD100, a KDM100, and I even have the factory KD100 front fender, which is really lightweight. It's a really piece of just thin plastic, which is really cool. And I have this awesome shifter right here, just a lightweight aluminum, real nice with a knurled end on it. You can see how it's all knurled. It's really nice little shifter. So I'm going to put that and two on my bike, yank the motor off, take what we want off that motor, and we're going to stick that stuff onto that engine right there. And then this engine right here is going to receive the cylinder and piston from my KM100, because this one right here is going on my KM, but it's getting bored out to the 51cc. So instead of having a 49.5, it's going to have a 51 or 52. Is it 51 or 52? I think it's 51. Yeah, 51 millimeters right there. So it's going to have the same piston as that machine right there, the KDE100 build. So we have that bored out right there. Get that done. That's going on the KM. The KM stuff is going to go on the KE motor. The KE motor is going to be adapted to go into my KD, which I love switching things around, switching them up. And then we're going to do another modification. I have this little expansion chamber right here that's off of a Suzuki, and we are going to modify that to fit my KD80, so that's going to have an expansion chamber. So we got some cool stuff coming on, cool stuff. So that's where we're at on the KDE motor bike, and this thing is coming along sweet. I can't wait to finish this. We're going to get a nice Kawasaki green pad for up front here. And yeah, this thing is nice and light. Nice and light. So, well, thank you guys for hanging out with me again. Please subscribe. Please share my page. And please give me a thumbs up. Thank you for watching.